Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going to be playing some historic Brawl using some of the newest alchemy cards, because I haven't decided how I want to engage with the new alchemy set after the economy stream. Yeah, that one was a fun watch, eh? But I know that for a fact I'm definitely going to be playing historic Brawl. I don't know about alchemy anymore. I just need to not give wizards money anymore, and the only way I can do that is by choosing the formats that I play very carefully. And yeah, buying that full alchemy set is a thing I could do. I just don't want to do it, to be honest. Yeah, I mean. Anyway, we're going to be playing with Nahiri, Heir of the Ancients, 4 mana 4 loyalty legendary planeswalker. You can tick up to create a 1/1 white core warrior token, and then you may attach an equipment you control to it. The -2 allows you to look at the top 6 cards of your library, and then you can reveal a warrior or equipment card from among them, put it into your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order, and then the -3 deals damage equal to a creature or planeswalker equal to twice the number of equipment in control. Blech. So yeah, we're playing Boros equipment. This deck's bad. It was bad before the new alchemy set, and nothing's changed. So I'm playing it knowing it's bad, but you know, it's still a fun commander. It's still a fun little archetype, so we're going to be messing around with it. But that is just a pre-warning before you go ahead and craft any of these cards. I wouldn't recommend it if you want to win a lot. You will win occasionally, though. This deck can just, like, make a super turbocharged creature and your opponents can do nothing about it. But then there's some matchups where they have full control over what you're doing, and those ones will feel bad. They're not a non-zero amount of matchups either. So we're going to be doing Equipment's Matter in Boros here. And as we said, we're going to be playing around with the new alchemy cards. I don't know if I could do set alchemy or Neo. Would Neo make it pop up? Neo doesn't make it pop up, but there's some interesting cards in here nonetheless. So Nahiri does care about warriors and equipment. That's useful because in Kamigawa we got equipment creatures. So we got things like Ogre Head Helm, Lizard Blades, Lion Sash. We got Rabbit Battery. All of these are creatures that are also equipment. So it's a really nice thing to hit with Nahiri there. And then you can suit them up and make a super creature that way. We also got things like Ryu? I can't decide. Storm's Edge, 4 mana 3/3 with first strike. Whenever a samurai or warrior you control attacks alone, untap it. If it's the first combat phase, then there's an additional combat phase after this. So it basically gets pseudo vigilance if it's attacking alone and gets to attack twice. Pretty cool. Also got the Wandering Emperor, which can flash in, put a counter on a creature and give it first strike, or it can make some samurai tokens with vigilance so we can equip our equipments to those. And it's also a removal spell with the -2 as well, which is quite nice. But yeah, as far as the new cards are concerned, I was hoping I could know what the set was just instinctively, but I can't. So let's go through the new cards from the alchemy set. Also, I'll mention some of the old alchemy cards as well, because they are kind of relevant. That one. What else do we got? Got some more. We got this ogre here. We got this scrapper man here. We got this Phoenix here. That one's a good one. I like that one. And then this Blade Master. I think those are all the new cards from alchemy sets anyway that we're going to be talking about. So we got Inchblade Companion, a 1 mana 1/1 equipment creature, and the equipped creature gets +1/+1. And whenever Inchblade Companion becomes attached to a creature, you create a token that's a copy of Inchblade Companion, except for it doesn't have this ability, and it only triggers once each turn. So what you can do with Inchblade Companion is you can have it as a 1 mana 1/1 that you can equip stuff to, or you can equip it to other stuff by reconfiguring. So attach it to a creature or attach it back, anything like that. If you do that once each turn, you're going to make yourself a 1/1 that doesn't do anything other than be a 1/1 that gives +1/+1. So it is creating equipment. It's just not creating equipment that have the ability to copy themselves. So this one can get out of hand quite quickly. It's balanced enough, I think, with the reconfigure 2 that it's not that much of an issue. Arm Scavenger was always kind of like the powerhouse of this deck, and it's not changed at all. So this is a spellbook card. I really don't like spellbook cards, but this card's actually quite kind of good, so we have to run it. 2 mana, 2/2. Beginning of your upkeep, you draft a card from the spellbook. So it gives you any of these equipment, and there's a couple of real good ones in there. Boost of Speed being one of the good ones. There's Colossus Hammer, which Nahiri's +1 could equip immediately to a token. There's flashing stuff that makes things bigger. Gold Vein Pick that gives you treasures. Mask makes you 1/1s. Mirror Shield's probably the best one, because this will give you hexproof to your creatures, which means you are free to constantly equip to it without any fear of a removal spell in response. Relic Axes, care about warriors. There's a lot of good stuff anyway with the Arm Scavenger there, so pretty nice card. New card from the Kamigawa Alchemy set is Foundry Beetle, 2 mana, 2/2 with First Strike. The equipped creature has First Strike, but the real reason you run this is at the beginning of your upkeep, a random artifact in your hand perpetually gains. This spell costs 1 less to cast. So it's kind of like the Fearsome Whelp Dragon card, except for balanced, because they learnt their lesson. So yeah, this is just going to cost reduce cards in your hand and do its job quite nicely, so pretty happy with that. Rahilda, I'm sure most of you know what this one does. It's a first striking 2/2. When it deals combat damage to a player, you get to take a card at random from their library, and as long as you've attacked with a wolf, you get to cast that card. So it's like Robber of the Rich, but on a pretty good creature. If your opponent casts nothing, then your Rahilda becomes a double striking 2/2, which once you're equipping this card, it's a must-block threat that eventually will probably become a lethal on board kind of thing. Bellows Breath Ogre, 3 mana, 3/3. This one I'm not too sold on, but it's an artifact creature, which is kind of relevant for like Foundry Beetle nonsense. And it's a 3 mana, 3/3 with starting intensity 1. So this is a new mechanic that's kind of been shoved onto old cards as well. So it starts with 1 intensity, and when it attacks, it deals damage to any target equal to the intensity, and then it increases by 1. So when it attacks, it'll deal 1 damage, then the next turn it'll deal 2, then it'll deal 3, then it'll deal 4, and eventually, if you've got this thing equipped and hexproofed and things like that, this thing's going to either kill your opponent, or it's going to clear the way for it to kill your opponent. That's at least the thought process behind running this card. It's probably not that good, but I wanted to run it in something, so here we are. We got Junkyard Scrapper, a 3 mana, 3/3. Whenever a non-token artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you exile a random non-land artifact with lesser mana value from your library, and you may cast that card until your end of the turn. So, if you got the Scrapper down, the next turn you play a 2 mana Mirror Shield. It's going to go into your library and go and grab you a 1 mana artifact, so that could be Shadow Spear, it could be Boots of Speed, or it could be something like Esper Sentinel. Either way, it's card advantage, and card advantage is something this deck will struggle with occasionally, so it's pretty nice. Forgeborn Phoenix, a 3 mana 2/2 with flying, and the equipped creature has flying. Whenever Forgeborn Phoenix or an equipped creature dies, it perpetually gains. Whenever an equipped creature you control deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Huge. Absolutely huge. So this just basically gives a Phoenix-like effect to anything it's equipped to, including itself as well. And all you have to do is do what your deck is trying to do in the first place, which is hit your opponent or their planeswalkers with an equipped creature. Pretty awesome. Imperial Blade Master, another thing that our deck's sort of trying to do is make one big creature and attack alone with it. So Blade Master is a great target for your equipment and also helps your already equipped creatures get a lot of value. So it's a 3 mana 2/2 with double strike, and when a samurai or warrior attacks alone, draft a card from the spellbook. So it's going to basically give you a samurai or a samurai based effect. There's a lot of good stuff in here. This one's cost reducing. This one gets you artifacts that your opponent might have killed back from your graveyard. This one will give you +1/+0 for basically each creature you control in a nutshell. This is potentially a win con down the line. Eater of Virtue is a card we already have in our deck. It's just a nice little +2/+0 equipment. This will get you a planes and gain you some life. Reinforced Ronin is just an extra creature. a little bit of protection in here, and card advantage as well. So there's a lot that this Blade Master can get you, and it's very situationally good. So, you know, you're going to look at three of those cards out of 15, and I'm sure there's one of them that'll be actually quite useful. But yeah, the rest of the deck is just equipment matter. I'm sure most of you know what most of these equipments do anyway. So yeah, I'm just going to let the gameplay of this one show you what the cards do in a nutshell. But yeah, as I said, this deck's not particularly good, so don't go out crafting it before you've watched the games. And the games are mostly just a highlight of my experience. I did concede a couple of like sweaty control decks that I just didn't want to deal with, because I'm pretty sure they'll just beat you. So yeah. Avoid them. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you do, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. And without further ado, let's continue. This video is brought to you by the generous support of our wonderful patrons and channel members that you see here. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to cool content like sneak peeks, bonus videos, polls on future content, or access to a personal deck critique from myself every month, then hit the join button down below, or check out the Patreon link in the description. With all that said, let's get into the gameplay. Alrighty then, we're in on the play. We've got an awkward hand. It's a 2-lander with a tap land. So I can't play Boots of Speed on turn 1. I don't really have a good creature. I guess I have the Lizard Blades. Yeah, I guess maybe I can take this then. We're up against Trelisara Moon Dancer. We'll get to what Trelisara does in just a moment. I am going to crack this now because I do want to play Lizard Blades on 2. And we'll grab a plane since we have a mountain already. Trelisara Moon Dancer, 2-mana 2/2 legendary creature. Whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on Trelisara and scry 1. So, 3rd land, pretty good for us. They're a life gain matters deck. Hopefully I can make their life gain not matter. Into the north, we're going to do a little bit of ramping. So this is an equipment lizard, so it's not going to trigger the Rayu here, unfortunately. Let's think. Do I want to go with Venerable Warsinger that currently doesn't have a target, but does have Trample, which could be relevant, especially at pushing through, like, Trelisara being a little bit larger here? Or do I want to work towards my plate armor being really good? 2/1. Let's go Warsinger, I think. And we can swing here, straight through the Speaker of the Heavens. Do want to keep our opponent's life total as low as possible, because there are quite a fair few cards that will care about a specific life total from our opponent. In Constructed, Standard, and Historic, it's 27. It's a little higher in Brawl, however. Alright, so as we said, we don't have a target for Warsinger right now, so we're not too fussed about doing anything with that. Nahiri's fine just being Nahiri for now. Let's go Boots of Speed. Let's go Dancing Sword. And then we get either +1/+0 or +2/+1. I'm going to offer a trade with Trelisara here. I don't think they'll take it, but if they've maybe got a spell that could pump Trelisara, then I guess I lose my Lizard Blades. It would come back once the Warsinger deals damage, though, so it's not a big deal. Mirari's Wake, they just doubled their mana. Very scary. Deal. They want the counter and the scry, I guess? Is their hand that bad? Top the card. So this is Spirit Cleric, this is a lizard, so none of the Ryu stuff is going to matter here. Instead, we're going to go with Plate Armor, which I think at this point should make it a free equip. We're going to find out. Yep, free to equip. And we can actually do double strike here with the Lizard Blade equip as well. 8-7 double strike coming at you. They can have as much mana as they want, but if they're dead, it's not going to matter. So going down to 2. Currently dead on board. So I've got a Ward 1 double striking, Vigilant Trampling 8-7. If they sweep the board, I get my Lizard Blades back. Because that's how reconfigure works. Yeah, that's the game. Sweet. Alright, on to the next one. Ooh, we got a mirror match, and we're on the play. So this is Scryland. Yeah, I think we can keep this hand. Mechagodzilla is probably going to make a harder to kill creature than our opponent could ever make over time anyway. We would like, I guess, white. And another land. I've got 3 lands technically here. Let's bottom it. Let's see if we can find some equipment. It's kind of the thing that this hand is currently lacking. Pass for our opponent. And yeah, I guess we'll go with the Selfless Samurai to start. And then next turn we'll get Mechagodzilla going. Gold Vein pick for our opponent. That one makes treasures when it deals combat damage to an opponent. Gonna go Mechagodzilla. Go to combat, see what we get. Vigilance. Alright, the one that we're really looking for is Hexproof, of course. I don't think this can give you Indestructible. Otherwise, that one would be nice. Yeah, it can give you a lot of stuff, but Indestructible ain't one of them. Call the Forge Master. Alright. So here I'm thinking maybe I go Nettle Cyst. I guess I've got no reason not to go to combat first, see what Mechagodzilla gets me. There we go, we got Hexproof. Alright. Makes more damage just to attack with everyone here. So let's go and do that. Our opponent's never going to deal with this Mechagodzilla. So any way to make it better, I guess, would be good. I guess the way they could do it is if they have a board wipe. I'm going to get my Nahiri down, I think. Let's look for an equipment. Should have plenty of them in my deck, so... a Lion Sash. Rabbit Battery for haste, and +1/+1. Yeah, I guess I'll just take the Lion Sash. Not too hyped about that hit, to be perfectly honest, but here we are. Skyclave can hit my Nahiri. Okay. And makes a 1/1. So I'm guessing that does go for my Nahiri. Yep. Makes sense.
Perish without me, then.
And yeah, we'll put you right on back where you belong. The thing with Skyclave Apparition is now that I've put Nahiri back in the command zone, there's nothing under Skyclave to give me a token when it dies, which is kinda sad. Alright, Wandering Emperor can make Mechagodzilla bigger over time. So that's a thing. I'm just going to make my land drop with Valakut Stoneforge here. Yeah, a bit of a sad state of affairs for our current board. First strike, though. If it's a 4/4 first strike, I guess we could go to combat and trick it in. Worst case, we got that Samurai that can sack and give it Indestructible, so let's just see what our opponent wants to do. Yeah, they're going to go and try and kill it, so now I get that lovely value. Boom. This also skips the trigger that would hit the +1/+1 counter, which is relevant. So now instead of potentially getting the +1/+1 counter, now I can get Trample, Reach, Menace, Death Touch, First Strike. Lots of stuff we can get. We kind of hope we don't get First Strike because the Wandering Emperor is covering that for us, but I suppose you never really know. It might be useful. I'm just going to reconfigure. And equip. Okay, so if I were to block that with Mechagodzilla, I would lose my Mechagodzilla. But luckily for us, we have a Selfless Samurai. And just in case... Alright. Lightning Bolt is a good one. Let's go with Call the Forge Master. Lion Sash. Is Lion Sash correct? Yeah, let's do Lion Sash. We can hold up and Lightning Bolt now as well. And then we get to go Mechagodzilla. Suited up. Gets permanent First Strike. So that's the one we didn't want to hit, but it'll work. And we're in heaven now. Opponent's gonna need something good. They need a board wipe, basically. See if they can make that reality happen. So now we could either get Flying, Death Touch, Menace, Reach. Or Trample. Still got a lot to go. Ooh, Ryu. Okay. So that'll give them an additional combat step. But not if I Lightning Bolt it. They could have Mana Tithe. They could have, like, God's Willing. Let's see what they do. Just passes. Cool. Alright, so now I'm going to eat their Skyclave Apparition. Getting a counter there. Another land. Could Mega Suit up my Mechagodzilla with Nettle Cyst. I mean, I'm kind of all for it. Nettle Cyst. Suit up my impossible to kill creature. Even though we do lose the Germ token, I think it's no big deal there. Because look at the state of this. Should have done this beforehand so I could pretend that I did bad math. But yeah, this game's now over, because now we got flying. And if our opponent was at one less life, they would be dead right now. I don't know if we could have made that up in any particular way. Fateful Absence. Sure.
Until next time, then.
Wandering Emperor's done a job. And yeah, this game just comes down to who has the better equipped creature, I guess. Rip apart my Nettle Cyst. Sure. Still puts me on lethal here. Maybe they have... what else could they have at this point? Just a way to gain life. I guess there is a 1-mana spell that could do that. It's that modal one. It destroys enchantments and things. I only buys them a turn, though. And, well, that's them tapped out now. So they can hit me all they want. I'm on 39. I don't care. That will be the game. Good stuff. Good stuff. Alright. On to the next one, I suppose. It's good versus itself. Alrighty then, we're in, and potentially pretty bad matchup for us here. We got only red mana, but we've got Arm Scavenger, which is one of our better cards, and Mirror Shield, which will be good against our opponent's creature removal. So I think I'm going to keep this one. Just guess, I hope for another land, really. Can lead with Lizard Blades, because we don't really care about that one too much. Alright, I hate you. Filled with a deep burning hatred. Our opponent's playing Gutmon, a personal favourite from alchemy cards, honestly. It's a 3-mana 1/3. Whenever Gutmon enters the battlefield, each player discards a non-land card. And then whenever a player discards a card during their turn, they choose another player. That player conjures a duplicate of that card into their hand, and you can spend mana as though it was mana of any colour. They took my Arm Scavenger. I hate them. I'm going to go with Mirror Shield. Just as that constant threat of this thing can no longer be touched. Wait, what? Each opponent creates a rogue. Enters the battlefield, gain control of all rat tokens. Whenever Echo of Death's Wail attacks, you may sacrifice another creature if you do draw a card. Okay. Interesting. Well, I'm gonna go Inchblade Companion. And I'm gonna go... I think just Lizard Blades here. Hit you for 1. So I get another rat token. They're gonna gain them on the next turn. Oathsworn Knight. Alright, so Lizard Blades is now hexproof. I'm interested to see what they do about constant hexproof. I'm also going to make it a 2/4 that makes me a token as well. Whenever a creature with Death Touch blocks or becomes blocked, destroy that creature. So I can swing like this, I believe. And I'm also going to swing with the tokens, because our opponent's just going to take them anyway. So they're going to gain control of some tapped tokens. Hits me for 7. Sacks one of the tokens, and we'll take the damage. I'm hoping to gain lifelink at some point this year, so that would be nice. There's Gutmon. You can have a Swiftblade Vindicator. What are you going to give me? You're going to give me a Mana Rock. I'd say they got the better of the deal there. And Drillbit takes the Brittle Blast. Okay. Well, we set ourselves up to not really care about that. Ooh, Fireblade Charger. So, I could go Nahiri kill Echo. Right now, I can't swing through Gutmon, though. Which is annoying. Yeah, a bit of a weird one. I guess I could do... reconfigure here. Then reconfigure here. I guess. So, something like that, I don't know. We can make a couple more of these companions, I guess, by not using the Summoning Sick one, but... this leaves me with a 2/2 that I can block the Rogue token with. And I can still block the Oathsworn Knight right now. Inquisition. Can take any of these cards. I'm going to go with the Cold Steel Heart, so they gain control of the Cold Steel Heart. And Davriel takes my Charger. I am now being racked. They get a Charger, they can play the Charger. I do love Gutmon decks for exactly the reason right now. I'm getting murdered by it. Alright, so... that Oathsworn Knight attack is bad. Our opponent's going to find out how the hard way, I think. Go on, commit. Commit. Do it. Do it. Alright, so... Oathsworn Knight says whenever damage would be dealt to it while it has counters on it. Prevent that damage and remove a +1/+1 counter from it. So it's only going to deal 3 to Lizard Blades here, in theory. Fireblade Charger hits me for 2. I need lifelink, and I need it now. I need it real bad. So we're going to go dig for lifelink. Embercleave, Maul of the Skyclaves. I mean, I can't give my opponent a potential Embercleave. Flying and First Strike. I guess I'll take the Maul. This can go on red. Don't need particular matters. I guess I could put it on black. Ooh, there we go. There we go. I don't even know if I've got time, though. Brand new card from Alchemy, so they get to conjure a copy of the card that they stole because I couldn't discard, is that right? So now they've got a Maul of the Skyclaves on their Oathsworn Knight. I'm going down another 2. I'm at a virtual 11 here. They're going to go after the Nahiri, which I think, yeah, is incorrect. Have I got enough life here, though, to survive? I'm going down to 4.
All I've left you.
I've got the Shadow Spear. Let's lose Nahiri, see if I can find anything better. We want some perfect information here. Both cards are kind of bad, but I'll go with the Initiate because it has lifelink. I get to equip Lizard Blades and reconfigure Lizard Blades here. Kill Davriel? This might be enough. This is 8. Plus a blocker on the ground for the charger.
This wasn't part of our contract.
Okay. Go down to 7. Oh, I'm dead. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still dead. Rip. Opponent took all my good cards. Yeah, we're just really lacking an equipment that adds power to the board. We got a lifelink just a turn too late, especially as well. I think we probably win if we get it down earlier. But, yeah, what can you do? This deck's bad anyway, so we knew it going into it, and it's just showing its colours, so let's go. Oh man, Jin Cataxius. I guess we're gonna keep this one. Jin Cataxius counters artifacts when they're cast for the first time each turn. Guess what my deck's all about doing? Yay! Terramanda for our opponent. We're gonna go Selfless Savior Go. We do have red mana, I guess. That's the thing. Guardian Idol. So yeah, they're basically all about ramping to Jin Cataxius and then hoping that the card is good. It's good. I'm just going to put that out there. It's going to work. I could slow them down with an Abrade on Guardian Idol. I actually kind of like doing that. Keeps them off of 3 mana cards if they don't have another land drop and they were maybe relying on that. Oof. Alright, well, that's going to be them either making a mana rock or just holding up an counter spell then. Okay. Let's swing first. Let's see if they've got, like, a flash threat that I don't care about. And I guess I could play around Jwari's Disruption by going with Selfless Samurai. Also, I'd much rather have Forgeborn Phoenix in play than a Samurai, so if they want to counter that, so be it. Now I could also hold up and March of the Worldly Light. They did have a counter, so I feel glad that I did that. I don't think killing Terramander here makes any sense. March, I think, can also hit artifacts, right? Yes, so hit a Mana Rock with that. It's going to feel pretty good again. Slowing our opponent down as much as possible is the only way we're going to win this game. There's a Relic. And swings for 1. Doesn't swing for 1. We get a Rabbit Battery. Interesting they don't swing for 1. That means they're probably wanting to trade with the Selfless Savior, and I'm totally fine with doing that. So let's swing first. Let's see if maybe they had something else in mind. Nope. Just the block there. Totally fine by me. Let's kill your Relic. Submit 0, target the Relic, pay. I want to keep them as mana screwed as possible, so if you do have that Dwari's Disruption, they would cast it there. They did not. Alright, Crater Maker. How do I want to do this? So this is a 3/3. Let's go with... I still don't want to lose my Forgeborn Phoenix here, so let's go Rabbit Battery. Into Crater Maker. This'll eat a counter spell. If they're running any, they'll definitely want to mess around with that. No, wow. Well, I guess what I'm going to do then is I'm going to offer a trade. Swords for Plowshares for the Faceless Haven. Skip their land drop again. Also, Crater Maker can kill Faceless Haven. So I'm just gonna sword you. I actually can't kill Faceless Haven. I lied. But mana screw them a bit more. It's, again, the only way we're going to win this game. Keep them as far away from Jin-Kataxias as possible. Back to 5 mana. Alright. And here's where things start to get a bit spooky, I suppose. Ooh, Showdown of the Scalds. It's one way to get back into this game if this gets countered. Thinking. Reading the card. Does explain the card. They don't care. Alright. Hit you for 5. The annoying part is they've pretty successfully made all the land drops the entire way down. Yeah, I mean, come on. I've tried hitting every mana rock to keep them away from this, and they just go ahead and just keep on winning. Yeah, River's Rebuke. We get a Temple. So if they have another land drop, which, again, they haven't missed this entire time, then good for them, I suppose. Do we go Crater Maker or Samurai? I guess we go Samurai. Reconfigure Samurai. Swing. Yeah, they're a land off ending this game. So hit your land drop like you have done every turn. Nope. Okay. Ooh, Ryu's Storm's Edge. Is a good one. Reconfigure onto Ryu. Hit you for 8. And lifelink as well. Might just be at the point where Jin-Kataxias is just not going to be enough here. Opponent's going to go for the block. No block. Well, it's coming in again. Alright. Pass the turn. I guess they could go Demi-Lich, cast River's Rebuke by not blocking here. But I would be... No, I would lose my Rabbit Battery as well there. They would be tapped out. I could replay Ryu, Rabbit Battery plus reconfigure and swing for lethal. So yeah, they need a little bit more. Fading Hope, that'll do it. That's irritating. Okay. So how do we beat Fading Hope? They're going to bounce Ryu if I attack. If I go to combat, that's what's going to happen. I could go Crater Maker, put Rabbit Battery on Selfless Samurai, and then no matter what they do, they're going to lose Demi-Lich. Is that the way to go about it? I think it probably is. I suppose I could have also gone Forgeborn Phoenix. Would that have made a difference? That would be 3/3 in the air. 5 damage. Oh, that might have been exactly what I needed to do. Oh well. Let's see what you want to do. Fading Hope, Ryu. Does that. I do this. I have a Rabbit Battery. They get Jinkataxius. Or Arcane Signet. And they can't afford to Jinkataxius, I guess. Yeah, was that missed lethal? Feels like it might have been. Looks like they're just going to go Demi-Lich. Yep. Foundry Beetle. Let's go Ryu. Give it haste, force the Demi-Lich block. If our opponent's only option was Demi-Lich there, then they're gonna have to block and go to 1 here, and then if my Ryu gets killed, I have a 1/1 to threaten lethal. And I can also Phoenix haste it up, or Foundry Beetle haste it up. So a simple bounce spell's not going to do anything. Fighter class. I could do Nahiri, tick up, make a token, that gains the Rabbit Battery. That's 2 threats. For 4 mana. Fighter class could get me something as well. I think Nahiri tick up is what I want to do. 2 threats our opponent has to deal with. So let's make a core spirit token. Core token, should I say. And yeah, okay. Yeah, I think I might have missed lethal there, but other than that, I think we pretty much played it as well as we could have. We identified how we were going to lose and did our best to avoid that happening. Eventually getting to the point where our opponent can play Jinkataxius, but they're on such low health it's not going to make a difference. Kind of curious to see what these 2 cards were. We were playing around a bounce spell, so maybe one of them is a bounce spell. It's hard to say, really. Hard to say. How do you get this back? Cast it, exiling 4 instant and sorceries from your graveyard, in addition. So yeah, they didn't have enough to bring Demi-Lich back again, which is why they didn't. And yeah, pretty good, pretty good. On to the next one. Alright, we're in against Discard Tribal. We got Reprobation, so we can turn off Tiny Bones. And a Saram that would draw off the Reprobation. It's probably dead, mind you, but I'm going to keep this one. I think if Saram doesn't die and we get to cast the Reprobation, then we could probably draw out of our Mana of Woes here, but we drew our Plains as well. We do need a red source primarily, but it is what it is. There's a red source. So we're going to play that. We're going to swing for 2, and then we're going to cry as our opponent plays Tiny Bones into Thoughtseize my Reprobation. Oh, hippie. Didn't expect to see you, hippie. Let's think. It has to die. It has to die or not exist as it is. So I have to Abrade or Reprobation here. Which one would I prefer? I would prefer having Abrade because our opponent's gonna Tiny Bones into Thoughtseize, so I want an instant speed answer to our opponent's Tiny Bones. So let's get my redraw. Let's swing for 2. And pass it over. If they somehow manage to get rid of the Reprobation as well, I can also just Abrade the hippie that way. It's technically possible with this one black enchantment removal spell. Virus Beetle, each opponent discards a card. Right, well, Tiny Bones is dead. We are going to discard a card here. We're going to discard... I don't know. Maybe Ryu? Ryu seems probably the awkward card here. Hits me for 0 to send a message. I approve. And it's going to be Den. I could hold up and March of Otherworldly Light. But our opponent didn't seem to have a 1-mana discard spell, so I don't expect them to go Tiny Bones into discard. So instead, what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a 1-1 here. And we'll pass. I could swing for 2 there, but if our opponent has removal, they can hit me back, and I'd rather just keep my Nahiri's loyalty quite high here. And pumping out 1-1 seems to be just fine. If Asram lives, Ogre Headhelm can draw a card because it's an equipment, which is kind of cute. Maze Mind Tome. It's going to be Tome Draw then, isn't it? Oh, no. Tome and get a 2-mana value card out of my hand. So there goes Ogre Headhelm. I'll trade my Spirit and my Core. Ooh. Union for upkeep, a random artifact in your hand perpetually gains. This spell costs 1 less to cast. Cute. Let's go find some more equipment. I want a little bit more information here. Arms Scavenger, huge. That one's huge. So we're going to play the Scavenger. And we're going to play the Beetle. This will allow me to hold up and march with Exile Akiri if I need it. Brittle Blast is okay. It's another answer to Tiny Bones. And now I'm pretty comfortable just attacking our opponent with the full force of my my warriors here. And Sram. he's advising on the battlefield. Expect to see a scry from our opponent to try and dig out of this nonsense. Hopefully we're not running straight into a Languish or something, though. That could suck. Oh, we're running into the magic ability's greatest threat, the Crash. Love the Crash. It's the best way to win a game in Magic the Gathering Arena, so It's happening almost every day now. Magic Arena. Yeah, when you complain about the terrible economy, just remember the rest of the game is kind of bad. Alright. We're back in. We're loading. Hopefully we're not dead. Our opponent's come back and taken 3 turns in the time that we've been gone, maybe. Oh. Freaking out.
The solution lies in stone.
There you go. Solution lies in stone. What changed? They blocked with the virus beetle. I don't know. They're gonna scry. Alright, I don't think we missed much. The solution lies in stone, which is probably the material all of their computer tech is made out of. Alright, who are they gonna go after? Saram. It's probably a good choice. Scavenger's pretty good, though. If I can give it hexproof, our opponent's going to be in a lot of trouble. So, let's go... Oh, no, this is Exile, so Foundry Beetle's not going to do anything, but it was something to keep in mind, I suppose. Yeah, none of these improve my creature's toughness, which is the real issue here. I guess I just take Mask of Immolation? I don't know. I don't think I really care. I'm gonna have to kill the Dread Presence, since we didn't draw the good cards. Got a Lion's Sash. Unstuck my upkeep. Why they've done that, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it just has to be Brittle Blast here. I can't really let that Dread Presence stick around and murder my board. So let's get that gone for good. Then let's have a look again in my deck. See if we can find a good card. We got a 1-mana Fireblade Charger. Just play this Immolation. This can actually pick off Hippie if that ever becomes relevant, which probably not. Swing for 4. And pass it up. Lol for our opponent. Okay. Doesn't directly kill any of my stuff. I can sack a Mask of Immolation to hit one of the tokens.
Do what I demand.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Gonna hit one of the tokens. I guess I could do this anytime, but I'm gonna do it now.
Subservience will be rewarded.
Alright. Do our thing. Lion Sash becomes cheaper. There's a Mirror Shield. Alright, we're taking the Mirror Shield. Without a doubt. Ooh, and Mechagodzilla. Oh, damn. Random artifact card in your hand perpetually becomes cheaper, so I could leave the Mechagodzilla to be cheaper. I guess, right, so we're definitely, I think, playing Mirror Shield here, because this is a card that our opponent really will hate. I do want to kill the Lolth. I can do that for 1 mana with the March of Otherworldly Light, so I'm left with 2 mana, which means I can equip Arm Scavenger. And that's going to create a very large boy over time. Unless our opponent's got a Fatal Push. No Fatal Push. Alright, so X0. Submit 0. Get rid of the token. That kills the Lolth. I guess I could have also sacked my core token by equipping Mask of Immolation to it with Nahiri's +1. That would put Lolth on 3 actually though, so it wouldn't work. So let's make a 1/1 that has the Immolation attached to it. It's going well so far. Our opponent, I guess, crashed. Our opponent has the same deck as us. It's mono crash the game. Alright. Attach an equipment. Yes, this one. Alright, kill Lolth. Nothing to fear on the crackback here. Opponent's keeping the hippie around for a block later down the line, makes sense. And they're going to go for a scry. You know you're in a good spot when Maze Mind Tome almost exclusively scries the entire way. You can start gaining life. They're scrying again. 4 life and a scry. Tome's still good even if it does scry the entire way, but, you know, you'd much rather be drawing cards with it, obviously. Especially being a discard deck. Ooh, Liliana Dreadhorde General. That's one way to get rid of my Arm Scavenger, but not this way. So you and you, unfortunately, get to go. Opponent gets to draw a card. Oh wait, he died, so they don't. Haha. Treasure tokens look good here. Alright, we got a land drop. I'm gonna make that. Play Field of Ruin. Don't imagine I really care about the Cabal Stronghold all that much. Suit them up. Actually, is this, has to hit players. That might have been, a little bit of an oversight. I guess I could tick up. Equip that. Play Charger. Re-equip this over here. Play Lion Sash. So Goldvein Pick hits our opponent to draw the card. Arm Scavenger kills the Liliana. Not draw a card, make a treasure. Did I say draw a card? I think I said draw a card. Alright, and then we can Lion Sash sack the... Ugh. Okay, that's problematic. That's our opponent. Well, I guess they're draining themselves forever. Who do you want to get rid of here? I mean, they're both kind of really bad for you. They're going to go for the Akiri. Sign in Blood. Resets the top for the Citadel. Down to 14. Down to 12 with a Waste Knot. And must be another land on top. I'm going to eat a permanent. Get rid of Liliana. And say, yeah, it's my turn. Another Mask of Immolation. Colossus Hammer. If I play Colossus Hammer, I can create a token that has that equipped. So let's go ahead and do that. Equip the Colossus Hammer. Mask of Immolation on the Colossus Hammer token. We're going to go for style points here. And 12U. It actually doesn't work like that. Our opponent doesn't know. Brilliant. Brilliant. So yeah, the Mask of Immolation says only sack to deal 1 damage. I kind of thought in my head, until I did it, that I was doing this to the Fireblade Charger, which is obviously so not true. But this game is over anyway. I don't really know how our opponent wins this game. I can put the Scavenger out of range of Languish, and then they have to have like Crux of Fate and things like that. But yeah, I'm just like so far ahead of this game. But yeah, that's kind of funny. Deal 1 damage to you, concede. OP Mask of Immolation. Alright guys, well that's going to do it for today's video. As I've mentioned, this deck is not very good, and it's even worse if you pilot it poorly like I did. But I guess it's a little bit of fun. There's a lot of good equipment alchemy cards out there, and they're very entertaining to play with anyway, so, you know, in that regard, it's quite good, but yeah, wouldn't really recommend this one. Just enjoy this deck vicariously through this video, I would say. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, then make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more Brawl content in the future. Without further ado, gonna end it off here. Take care, and peace.